I don't think I can take it anymore. The frizz is getting to me. Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first video of mine that you're watching, hi, my name's Courtney and I love playing around with tips and tricks from the curly girl method to improve the health of my hair. And today's video is going to be for those of you who have fallen off the curly girl bandwagon at one point or another. If we're honest, the curly girl method seems like a lot of work. And I mean, really, do the benefits really outweigh the cons? I think that's supposed to be the pros outweigh the cons. Anyway, what we're going to be talking about today is what to do if you fall off the curly girl bandwagon. If you'd like to hang out with me some more, you are welcome to go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell. I would love to get to hang out with you guys some more. Also, if this video is helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it. I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into the good part. I started the curly girl method with terrible hair days. There was so much frizz, stringy noodle hair. It was not cute. And for a few months, I really tolerated all the frizz and terrible hair days, thinking that ringlets would soon appear. And I kept doing the curly girl method, looking at inspiration pictures on Instagram of all these beautiful curly haired girls, thinking that if I just hung in there long enough and used the right products and the right application techniques and just kept tweaking things, I would finally get there. I would get the shiny frizz-free ringlets that I wanted. And the months kept going by and the bad hair days kept happening. And so I got sick of it. I was sick of the curly girl method after a few months of hard work and dedication. Maybe you feel this way. Maybe you really miss running your fingers through your hair and the predictability that heat styling gives you. You give up a lot when you start doing the curly girl method. You give up heat, silicones, sulfates, drying alcohols, and the dependability of how the curling iron makes your hair look. You completely give up control over that. Like, you have no say in how your hair is going to turn out that day. Because when your hair's in transition, man, is it ever temperamental. There's like 2 products that kind of work for your hair and only one application technique. And if you scrunch your hair 12.5 times, it will give you the perfect application. But if you scrunch your hair 14 times or 11 times, it's going to turn out terrible. And don't even think about looking at a spray bottle because, yeah, bad things will happen. So why does your hair look so bad when you first start doing the curly girl method? Why is it so tangly? Why is it so frizzy? Why would you actually want to do this and keep going? What is the point? Honestly, the point of it is to give your wavy curly hair the specific treatment it needs, because the needs of wavy curly hair are very different than the needs of people with perfectly straight hair. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, you do not, I repeat for the people in the back, you do not have to do the curly girl method. I know it's something that I really enjoy and I talk a whole lot about, but there's no law that says because your hair is wavy curly, you have to do the curly girl method. It's not meant to make your life miserable, and it doesn't have to. You do not have to make the curly girl method super duper complicated if you don't want to. So if you are tired of the curly girl method and you just can't get past this ominous transition phase, that's okay. It is okay to fall off the curly girl bandwagon. You can give yourself grace to not do the curly girl method if you don't want to. You couldn't figure out the products your hair liked. You couldn't invest the time and the money into the research to figure out what would be best for your hair, because it does take a lot of time and effort and research, and you kind of have to go through some products in order to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. If you can't do that, that is fine. It's okay. You may notice that when you go back to heat styling your hair, or if you continually heat style your hair and use sulfate silicones, drying alcohols, terry cloth towels, sleep on a cotton pillowcase, brush your hair all the time. I was an addicted hairbrusher at one point in my life. If you do all of those things, you may be aware now that your hair refuses to grow past a certain point. You know, you've been trying to grow your hair out for months and months, and you can't seem to quite get it past your collarbone because there's just so many split ends and damage everywhere. You may be finding that at the merest hint of moisture in the air, your hair frizzes out aggressively and your hair just feels bad, dry, brittle, angry. You may become aware of that where you weren't aware of that before. So again, why does your hair look so bad when you start doing the curly girl method? You're doing all of these things to it that are supposed to be making it happy and healthy. Why does it freak out? Well, there are several things that contribute to this, one of which being that you have stopped using silicones. Silicones are like the hair care industry's beautiful band-aid. They cover up a multitude of past hair sins. Any damage that's in the hair cuticle, silicones will coat and smooth and cover up, giving your hair the appearance of being super duper healthy when underneath all those silicones lie a deep, dark, sad history of damaged hair cuticle. Your hair feels so much more tangly and rough and kind of weird when you first start the curly girl method, because now you can actually feel all the spots in your hair that are damaged and kind of messed up because they've seen some stuff. When you stop using silicones, all of this damage is now exposed and out in the open, and you kind of just have to deal with it for a while until you are able to grow out all that past damage and slowly trim it off with diligent trims. Eventually your hair will stop being that tangly, snarled, matted mess. I promise. The tangles do get better. It takes time, but they do get better. And you may be saying to yourself, Courtney, I haven't been addicted to my flat iron or my blow dryer or a curling iron. Why did my hair look so bad when I started doing the curly girl method? Because like, I don't bleach or heat damage my hair at all. Like, I have virgin hair and it still was terrible. And I still couldn't do the curly girl method successfully. First off, what is your definition of success if you're doing the curly girl method? Because my definition when I first started was ringlets. And my definition of success with the curly girl method has since changed. But anyway, you don't heat style your hair. You don't have any past damage to speak of. Why are you still having a bad transition phase with the curly girl method? On some hair types, even using sulfates, silicones, drying alcohols, terry cloth towel, sleeping on a cotton pillowcase, and frequent brushing are enough to cause significant damage to the hair. A really good example of this is my friend Heather over on Instagram, Curly Whirly Red. She almost never heat styled her hair, and she started doing the curly girl method, and she had a transition phase even though she had virgin hair when she started. The mere fact of using sulfate, silicones, and all these things that we're not supposed to use on wavy curly hair still damaged her hair, and she still had to go through the transition phase. Okay, fine. I understand I have some damage in my hair, but why is transition still so dang hard? Well, your hair is just very needy and temperamental when you're in this transition phase. There will be like one or two things that work for you, and then nothing else will give you any semblance of a decent hair day that you can wear down. That is part of this process. It's unfortunate, but it's the case. So for me, after the first several months of doing the Curly Girl method, I hit a wall. I was done. I was over it. I was sick of looking at gels and diffusers, and I wanted to throw in the Curly Girl microfiber towel. I was done. I had done all the right things. My hair was still just barely wavy. It was still frizzy. It was still stringy. It was still noodly. No more. Done. Dunskies. I quit. And I was just gonna slowly melt into the background and step away from doing the Curly Girl method. I decided I was gonna use up all these shampoos and conditioners that I'd bought to do the Curly Girl method with, and I was gonna donate all the stylers I did not want to use on my hair to friends who actually had curly hair, and that was gonna be that. And I did that. That was at month 7 of doing the Curly Girl method. I had done the Curly Girl method for 7 months and had like 3 good hair days in total of those 7 months. So what I would do is I would shampoo, condition my hair, brush in a tiny bit of leave-in, and I was so sick of doing my hair, I didn't even want to blow dry it. So I would allow my hair to air dry product free. Forget it. Done. There were days when it turned out okay, like wearable to wear down, and there were days that it didn't. And on the days that it looked terrible with product-free hair, I would throw it up in a bun, put on a cute headband. I will say, Curly Girl Instagram, there's a whole community of people doing the Curly Girl method over on Instagram. It's a really sweet, nice place. And I actually got a lot of inspiration for updos from Lauren, the Curly Lab, Good Gravy, It's Wavy, Marianne, and Kristen, the Joyful Wavy. They had all these cute ways to like put your hair up. And I did that. I put my hair up a lot. I went product free. I just didn't feel like doing my hair at all. The smallest amount of effort I could put into my hair to feel decent is what I did. And after 4 weeks of not doing anything to my hair styling wise, I kind of got over my little tantrum and decided to pick my sucker up out of the dirt, and I decided I would try styling my hair again. I grabbed a curl enhancer and a gel, kind of slapped them into my hair, diffused for a while, and that's how my hair turned out. I was floored. My hair had not looked that good in 8 months, and that got me thinking. One, I hadn't set back my progress with the Curly Girl method by not styling my hair. I was still using Curly Girl approved shampoos, conditioners, leave-ins. Yes, I was brushing my hair straight and pulling it back more than I probably should have been, but I was still using nice, gentle brushes. I was using a microfiber towel. I was still sleeping on a silk pillowcase because, let's be honest, that kind of feels amazing. I was still minimizing damage to my hair where I could, and my progress wasn't set back, even though I kind of fell off the Curly Girl bandwagon. This little break was exactly what I needed mentally and what my hair needed. We both needed a break because we were arguing with each other over this thing called the Curly Girl method. My mindset in that month did shift a lot from shooting for ringlets as the end goal, frizz-free, shiny, perfectly bouncy ringlets, to just healthy hair. Why though? Why healthy hair over ringlets? When your hair is as healthy as it possibly can be, it becomes so much more manageable. Healthy hair is happy hair, and happy hair gets along with you and does what you want it to. But when you start trying to force your hair to do something that it's not meant to do, like lay perfectly straight with no frizz by melting it into submission with a flat iron, or using Curly Girl products to try and force ringlets where you don't have any ringlets naturally, that is when arguments ensue with your hair. So if you have been really wanting to fall off the Curly Girl bandwagon, or you already did fall off the Curly Girl bandwagon and you're you want to get back into it, but you just don't think you can go through the horribleness that is the transition phase. Again, here are some tips that I have for you. Usually when we start the Curly Girl method, we tend to buy products that aren't right for our hair type. For me, that meant using products that were way too heavy. If you're finding that you can't go product free and wear your hair down, you might try reaching for some of your more heavy shampoos and conditioners, maybe even put in a curl cream instead of a leave-in, things that are going to kind of add weight to your hair, help weigh down the poofiness so you don't do the Hermione thing. That would help a lot. Play around with a good messy bun and updo. I find that when I throw on a headband, my messy bun goes from looking like sad mom bun to cute hairdo. And you may find that just taking a styling break and going product free isn't enough. You want to bust out the flat iron and the curling iron, especially around this time of year. There's a lot of special occasions, and this year more than ever, those special occasions feel really precious to us. So we want to really cherish them. And if you want to heat style your hair for a precious special event, go for it. There's no rule saying that once you start the Curly Girl method, you have to wear your hair curly forever. There is a mental shift though that happens once you started the Curly Girl method. You become really aware of the damage you're causing to your hair when you heat style it. You're no longer naive thinking that this has absolutely no consequences. You become aware of the consequences of your heat styling. I like to think of it as climbing a ladder. The top of the ladder being the healthiest hair possible, and the bottom of the ladder being, well, hair that is so damaged it's just falling off of your head. We've all seen a couple of those YouTube videos of the girls who bleach their hair 4 times in one day and then their hair just starts falling off. Woo! Okay, so bottom of the ladder, that damaged, top of the ladder, healthiest hair possible. Let's say you give up sulfates and silicones and you start using a microfiber towel and you're brushing your hair less. All these things help you walk up the ladder to healthier hair. You spend plenty of time allowing your hair to heal. You keep getting trims and all that jazz. Your hair slowly, step by step by step, gets healthier. But then you decide you really want to flat iron your hair for that one event. And then you want to use your curling iron and you're really brushing your hair and you've used silicones and heat protectants on your hair that are starting to build up and block your hair from absorbing moisture. All those things step you down the ladder of your healthy hair. It's just a trade-off. This isn't a perfect analogy, but you kind of get the idea. Knowing this, though, has not stopped me from occasionally heat styling my hair in the 2.5 years that I've committed to playing around with the Curly Girl method. If you want some more details on what exactly I do to help my hair bounce back after I have worn it straight, well, you might want to check out this video with my sister. She flat ironed her hair and then we styled it curly again. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I sure hope you found it encouraging. Remember, Give yourself grace when you're doing the curly girl method. This is not a terribly easy process. It's meant to increase the health of your hair and help you get along with your hair better. If you are feeling super duper lost on where to start the curly girl method and want a really nice little neat bundle package of here, do these steps, use these products, watch styling videos of exactly how to style your hair, go ahead and check out Courtney's curl class. I will have the link in the description down below. This is an online course just meant to be a tool, to be helpful to you. If you stumbled on the protein moisture balance thing and are feeling really confused, I also have a course for that. And if you want a free wash day schedule of how and when to wash your hair, go ahead and grab your free copy down below. And I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye!